Zo Jones pulled open the door to her deck, convinced she'd seen her cat George sauntering along the back fence. My cat? Right, thought Zo. If he was my cat, he'd come home. The orange and white furball had been a menace ever since she'd adopted him from the shelter 6 months ago. First, he shredded her one good chair, then contracted an expensive ear infection, and after he was cured, he took off at the first sign of spring. Zo was starting to think he didn't like her. Pausing in the warm sunshine, she couldn't completely blame him. The nice weather was giving her spring fever, too. Like the tourists, she wanted to be outside, enjoying the canyon. In the heart of Black Hills National Forest, the canyon was the reason most tourists came to Spirit Canyon, the small town named for the landmark. They filled up on food, gas, and souvenirs before taking the twisty drive into one of the most beautiful byways of the hills. Zo had been here so long, she could have been numb to its beauty. But she wasn't. Mornings such as these still had the ability to move her, and she stood for a while, staring into the distance. Like a paintbrush dabbed in gold, the sun moved across the treetops, highlighting the jagged forest cutting along the bright blue ridge of sky. Hearing a sound at the fence, Zo walked down the deck steps into her tiny backyard, her flip-flops slapping against her feet. As the owner of Happy Camper, an eclectic gift shop, she had no need to dress up. She wore short shorts, a long sweater, and silver earrings that hung past her shaggy inverted bob. She also wore a lovely blue scarf, one of many she splurged on at the local cut hut. Today's creation, tied into a headband, fell to her shoulders, brushing the archer tattoo on her right shoulder. She was a Sagittarius. The gate creaked as she pushed it open. If George had been there, he'd heard her and was gone. Instead, Dr. Russell Cunningham, an English professor at Black Mountain College, greeted her. Bent down near the side of his house and wearing a straw hat and leather gloves, he looked like a little garden gnome, wrinkled but in a cute way. Unfortunately, this garden gnome talked. A lot.